Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to take up William Blake's poem London. William Blake's poem London is a description of urban space, unhappiness, and poverty of the city. The poem was published in Songs of Experience in 1794 and illustrates the effects of modernity on people and nature through the discussion of dangerous industrial conditions, lack of freedom, downfall of London, child labor, prostitution, and poverty. Blake lived in London and therefore writes of it as a resident rather than a visitor, and offers a social criticism of the 18th century England, showing the negative picture of the city. The poem reveals the poet's feelings towards the fallen world of London society he lived in. England in 1880s came under the influence of French Revolution, but after the revolution, the government began to oppress the civil democratic activities, and everything was shadowed by darkness, terror, and miseries. The poem embodies Blake's Christian beliefs that humanity has fallen from a state of grace to a life of sin and squalor. Wandering through the streets of London, signs of misery, weakness, and despair can be discerned in the faces of the people. The speaker meets and one hears cries of fears and repression in their voices. The woeful cry of the chimney sweeper stands as a chastisement to the church, and the blood of the soldiers stains the outer walls of the monarch's residence. The night holds nothing more promising than the cursing cries of prostitutes that corrupt the marriage heresy. Next to that, we will have a look at the archetypal urban locale, that is the city of London, which Blake discusses in this poem. The archetypal urban locale reminds us of hell or hellish conditions in the city of London. The title of the poem, London, denotes a specific geographic space transformed into an archetypal urban locale, a confined, rigid, and mapped out area in which the image of wandering, the focus on sound, and the imagery of stained or dirty life reinforce the sense of stricture the speaker feels upon entering the suffocating atmosphere of the city. London is presented as a pained, oppressive, and impoverished city. The speakers meeting with the marks of woe. The speakers meeting with the marks ironically represent the experience closest to a human encounter, where the signs of human suffering abound, but a complete human form is missing. All the subjects, men, infants, children, chimney sweepers, soldiers, and harlot, are known only through the marks of or traces of or voices they have left behind. That is, marks of weakness, marks of woe, blood down the palace walls, or the blackening church, or the cry of fear, or the soldier's sigh, or the curse that blasts the newborn infant's tear. The cry of the chimney sweeper and the sigh of the soldier metamorphoses into soot on church walls and blood on palace walls, but we never see the chimney sweeper or the soldier themselves. Next to it, we will look at the mind-forced manacles. Likewise, the institutions of power like the clergy and the government are rendered through these institutions are rendered through the use of synecdoche, that is, by mentioning the places in which they reside, the church and the palace respectively. Neither the city's victims nor their oppressors or oppressive elements ever appear in body or in person. Rather than putting a direct blame on the institutions that tyrannize or any system of enslavement, Blake comments through the victims to make known their own mind-forced manacles. At the climax of the poem, the image of marriage heresy becomes instrumental to combine love and desire with death and destruction at the moment when the cycle of misery recommences in the form of a new human being starting life. A child is born into poverty out of wedlock to a cursing prostitute mother. Marital union, the place of possible regeneration and rebirth, is tainted by the blight of illegitimate relationships. The oxymoron marriage heresy intends to mean that marriage as a holy ceremony and a sacred union has ironically become associated not with the bliss and blessings but with profane curse and tear, which communicates the misery of the young unmarried mother and the infant. Besides that, there are oppressive institutions present in the poem. The oppressive institutions are the two institutions that are associated with wealth and grandeur. The church and the palace are also invaded by the corrupt and bleak realities of Blake's London. A world where industrialization has resulted in the exploitation of small children, maltreated in their employment as chimney sweepers, and the tyrannical political world in which unfortunate soldiers shed their blood for oppressive monarchy. The church has been transformed into an appalling image, shocking and dreadful in its blackening, and the palace with its bloody image appears horrible. Let us give a pause here and we shall continue with the discussion of the poem in the next part of the video. Thank you very much.